What's up, Pokemoshpitbeta? It's HerpyDerqy. Today, I got a mixture match for you guys against KyrkRTG. We busted that to kind of just try out some random Pokemon, so I decided to bring some OU pokes, RU pokes, DU pokes, a bunch of other random crap. He did the same thing, and I kind of made this really weird Hail team that isn't really quite Hail, as you can see. I have a lot of weird Pokemon on it, because I didn't think it'd be fair to bring a complete Hail team. He decided to bring a team that's supposedly revolving around Metagross, and yeah, Metagross is really scary against my team because I have 3 Pokemon that are Ice type. They're going to be very weak to the Bullet Punches and Meteor Mashes, so I have to be very careful with that. But I do have a game plan. My game plan is that I want to try to use Kyurem and just fire off as many Draco Meteors and Blizzards as I can, because his team doesn't look like it can hold up too well against my Kyurem, which is great, except for that Snorlax maybe, so that's a little bit of a problem. But I also have a Quillfish, and I realize that he doesn't have any Rapid Spinners, so I can just set up a bunch of entry hazards and slowly roll down his team, which is going to be my goal. So I figured I might as well just lead off with Quillfish, since I might as well set up some entry hazards with him, and he's going to lead off with his Poliwrath, and that's great for me, because I know Poliwrath can't really do anything to me. I know his Poliwrath is like a sub-encore Focus Punch set, so he can't really do anything to me. So he's going to switch out feeling kind of intimidated and go into his Metagross while I'm just going to set up my first layer of spikes. Now, I don't know what this Metagross wants to do, so I'm just going to stay in and just keep setting up a second layer of spikes, but holy crap, this Earthquake does a lot of damage. That's very surprising, because Earthquake unstab, even for a Metagross who has a lot of physical attack, still that did a ton to my Quillfish. So I know for a fact that this Metagross has got to be banded, because my Quillfish should have taken that much better. So my Chandelure does have an Air Balloon, so I can take that Earthquake and force a switch. I'm going to go for the substitute, not sure what he wants to do, but he's going to bring back in Poliwrath, which tells me that he's trying to Encore me into the substitute. But unfortunately for him, I'm actually running Timid on the Chandelure, so I can outspeed this Poliwrath even if he's running max speed with Jolly, which is great, because now he's going to Encore me into Shadow Ball, which is much better than substitute. So I figured that he might try to set up a sub, because I thought he might expect me to switch out because I'm Encored, and he might expect me to switch out knowing that he's probably going to bring in a Snorlax. So I thought he might try to set up a substitute abusing that fact. So I stay in just letting myself fire off more Shadow Balls because I'm Encored, but that doesn't really work, and I'm going to have to be forced to switch out against the Snorlax. So I'm going to go into my Bombasnow, set up the Hail. I don't really think the Snorlax can really do anything to me. I was kind of expecting a Crunch, but he actually goes for Body Slam and gets a Paralyze on me, which really sucks, because now my Bombasnow can't really do anything because I'm a sub-seeding set, and the fact that I'm paralyzed doesn't really help with that, because I need to be able to outspeed my opponent at least. So now he's going to go into his Rotom Cut and take that incoming Leech Seed, which is a good prediction on his part, but definitely very ballsy too, because if I went for a Blizzard, he would have been dead, but works out for him. And I'm going to go for Protect this turn because I don't know what kind of Rotom Cut this is, and I want to scout out what move he wants to lock himself into. And I get Paralyzed, which sucks a lot, because he's going to go for the Trick. And if I knew he was going to go for Trick, then I would have switched out into my Kyurem, who's already Choice Scarfed, and that would at least get me a free switch in my Kyurem. But that doesn't really work out. But at least this Rotom Cut lost his Choice Scarf, which is pretty nice. And now he's just going to go fire off a Hidden Power Fire, which is good to know that that's his last move. He doesn't have Will-O-Wisp or anything like that. So I'm going to go back into my Chandelure, because I know I can scare off this Rotom Cut and just go for a substitute on the switch. And he can't really do much to my Chandelure, but I'm thinking that the Snorlax probably does have Crunch. But then again, at the same time, I really just want to get as much HP on the Snorlax as possible, because I know that my Kyurem can't really sweep his team unless the Snorlax is down. So I'm just going to go for a Pain Split this turn to hopefully lower his HP by quite a bit. I don't really care if my balloons popped at this point, because I doubt he's going to be going for an Earthquake anymore now that my Quillfish is at pretty much next to no HP. So I don't really care that my balloon's gone. And now I'm just going to switch out and go into my Hitmonchan, because I was thinking he might just go for a Crunch and I can resist that and fire back a Drain Punch. But he's going to predict my switch again, go for a Body Slam, and I get paralyzed again. And I'm just like, oh my god, this is just horrible. Like, this is just not the game for me. But I'm just going to go play it safe, just go for a Drain Punch, because I don't really have anything to lose. But this Slowbro is going to take this Drain Punch very nicely. And now I'm kind of afraid, because I am just losing by a lot. Quillfish is almost dead, Hitmonchan is paralyzed, and I don't really have many other options left. So I'm going to switch out and go into my Kyurem at this point, because I realize that the Slowbro can't really do anything to me. he's probably either going to go for Psychic, Scald, or Calm Mind, and either one of those I'm fine with. And he decides to go for the Calm Mind, great. Because now I can fire off a Draco Meteor. I don't think the Slowbro really wants to take a Draco Meteor from a Kyurem, because as of the moment he doesn't know that I'm Choice Scarf, so he is definitely going to have to switch out, which is fine with me, because I'm glad to get a Draco Meteor on like anything on his team. Nidoqueen's going to come in as fodder for his team, and unfortunately it's not going to quite kill the Nidoqueen, but the Hail is going to be able to finish off the Nidoqueen, so that's always great that I finally took down one Pokemon. However, his Metagross is going to come back in, and I need to fodder something because I want to scout out what kind of move he wants to lock himself into. So I'm going to fodder off my Quillfish. Unfortunately, I don't get the Intimidate on the Metagross because his Metagross is a clear body, so it doesn't get affected by it. So he chooses to lock himself into Meteor Mash. That's great for me because I know I can at least scare off this Metagross, and I'm going to try to get his Slowbro to come back in and switch back into my Kyurem. So the only way I can do that is if I send in Hitmonchan, go for a Mach Punch, and pretend I'm going to go for a Mach Punch on his Metagross, and I'm going to switch out and go back into my Kyurem, because this is exactly what I want to happen. I want to have a double switch on both sides so that I go into my Kyurem while he goes into another Pokemon, so that way I can keep firing off some more free Draco Meteors and slowly whittle down his team. So his Slowbro can't do anything to me, and he needs to save his Slowbro for my Mamoswine. So he's gonna decide to fodder off his Snorlax. It's great that I used the Pain Split before I brought down the HP, because if his Snorlax is like max HP, max special defense, I don't think that Draco Meteor would have taken it down. So that's great that I got quite a bit of damage on that thing. The Metagross is gonna come back in, and once again I have to fodder something. So off with you, Hitmonchan. You're paralyzed. You can't really do anything. You're like crippled. So the Meteor Mash is going to hit me, but that's fine because now I know that I can send a Mamoswine pretty freely, and at least I can scare him off with an Earthquake. Now, I'm pretty sure he's going to expect me to go for an Icicle Crash predicting his Rotom Cut, so I guess he's going to go into a Slowbro to resist that Icicle Crash, so I'm going to stay in, and I'm just going to go for the standard Earthquake, and that's going to do a ton of damage to Slowbro since I am Choice Banded, which is great. So now I know he's going to go back into his Rotom Cut to take that incoming Earthquake because he knows I'm banded by now. So I'm going to switch once again back into my Kyurem, and he's going to indeed switch back into his Rotom Cut, which is great because now once again get another free opportunity to fire off a Draco Meteor, which is sweet. I don't really want to fire off a Blizzard yet because I don't think the Blizzard can really kill his Poliwrath, so I'd rather just play it safe and go for a Draco Meteor, and Draco Meteor almost kills the Rotom Cut once again, but the Rotom Cut is going to Volt Switch out and it's going to get out safely, so he's going to have one more turn where he can do a little bit of damage before he's going to die to the Hail. So Metagross is going to come in now. It's definitely worn down through the spikes and Hail, so I'm going to switch out and go into my Mamoswine because, you know, he's either going to go for a Meteor Mash or he's going to go for Bullet Punch. And if he goes for a Meteor Mash, I'm going to lose my Chandelure. And I want to scout out if he's going to go for Bullet Punch as well. Because if he goes for Bullet Punch, I know my Mamoswine can live one. I might be able to dodge it as well. So now that I know he's going to go for Bullet Punch, I'm going to go into my Chandelure now, who can take Bullet Punches very nicely. And with that extra HP I got from the Pain Split, I'm going to be able to stay in, take the second Bullet Punch, and fire off a Shadow Ball to kill off this Metagross. And had I not gone for the Pain Split before, I'm pretty sure I would have died to this Bullet Punch, and that pretty much would have been game, because then my Kyurem would have died, and I can't switch in my Mamoswine. That would have been awful. So luckily for me, I am going to live. Now Rotom Cut's going to come back in. I'm just going to fodder off my Mamoswine because I don't really need it anymore. I'd rather keep my Chandelure, who's a little bit faster. So the Rotom Cut is going to go for Leaf Storm, kill me off, whatever, that's fine. I don't really care that my Mamoswine's dead because I don't really need it anymore. This Rotom Cut's going to die to the Hail, so now it's 2v2. I still have my Kyurem and my Chandelure left. He only has his Poliwrath and Slowbro, and both of his Pokemon are going to die to my Chandelure, since my Chandelure can just go for a few easy Shadow Balls, kill off both of them. So that's pretty much going to be the game. Hope you guys enjoyed this battle. If you liked this battle and like my commenting and narrating in general, feel free to check out my channel. I post a lot of other weird stuff like battles, you know, custom movesets. Recently posted of me singing, which is kind of weird, but anyways, yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this battle. This is HerpyDerqy signing out. See you guys later.